For 3 long weeks, this man and I have not been able to do this show because it was preempted on ESPN2 by various sports events. So for 3 weeks, I have stored up opinions for this man. I am about to unleash. He had better be ready.
You're not supposed to make me laugh. Am I really supposed to be worried about you?
Yes, you are. Here we go.
It's now FOP, that's friend of the program, Jerry Ferrara. Die-hard All Things Knicks, starring in the All Things New York, excuse me, starring in the Entourage movie. Thanks so much for joining us.
I'm sorry, I haven't recovered from the back yet. Just watching some of those highlights, it just hurt my soul.
Either has this guy. That's why he's just quiet over there. Let's talk about your Knicks, because we talked about...
You know what? I can just leave now, because I don't think I'm going to get a word in edgewise between
No,
Go ahead and talk, Skip.
Yeah.
Just don't irritate me.
Yeah, I'm about to.
Listen, Skip already won. We talked about his Spurs. Your Knicks. Let's talk about what they did or didn't do, for that matter.
And I really want to hear what you have to say, because I missed you guys being away so long. So much has happened, and now you're back. But look, I'm being a little foolish because I'm very, very excited because I think we could win more than 17 games with this team. I'm actually contemplating. Stephen A., you should come. I want to go to the Knicks-Lakers Summer League game after this, because I think that's the biggest, best matchup we're going to get.
When is it?
2 p.m. today.
2 p.m. today?
We go right from here.
Got a private jet to go to Vegas?
Well, maybe one of our friends who's watching, somebody reach out, give us a lift.
Maybe.
In and out, see D'Angelo versus Kristaps.
I would do that. I'd do that if you had a private jet.
He's won me over. He's won me over.
He has?
He has.
At 7 feet 3 inches tall?
Here's my issue with the pick, okay? If he turns out to be an 11-5 guy, which would be a very nice NBA career, I still think it's going to be a disappointment. There's so much hype now around him being Dirk, which is almost impossible to live up to that. I think if he has a solid career, it's still never going to be enough. And that's what concerns me the most. I love the Jerry and Grant move. We actually, and again, I'm getting caught up in the summer league stuff. It looks like my pickup game at times, but he looks good in the summer league.
Go ahead, Skip.
Well, Porzingis looks good in summer league.
Yeah, he looks fantastic.
You're going to hang your hat and Phil Jackson's hat on Porzingis in the summer league, where, to my eye, as I watch him in summer league, he can't get any inside position on anybody because he weighs like 165 pounds.
He did get back down quite a few times. He's going to have to put some weight on, but I think that...
Protein shakes.
More than that. We're going to have to send him more than that. I'm not hanging my hat on it. I'm hanging my hat on the fact that the Knicks in the East actually have a young team now that is worth watching on an excitement level. Whereas last year we were sold the goods of Calderon and Jason Smith and expecting to make the playoffs with that team. That was never going to happen. We at least have a young team and are hopeful, and we don't have a draft pick next year, so this has to work. It has to.
Do you see a highly skilled big man, Mr. Smith, and Porzingis, Kristaps?
He's great on Instagram.
Is he?
He's pretty good.
I got to check that out.
See, Skip's messing with me, man. Let me be fair. Let me be very clear, because when I went on SportsCenter, that was immediately after the draft.
I remember.
Came out of vacation.
Usually, because ESPN, you know, they paid me, and if they call me, I'm going to come, whether I'm on vacation or not. This was different, because I called ESPN and told them, make room for me on tonight's SportsCenter, I'm coming on. It was immediately after the pick. And here's what really rakes my nerves. And it rakes my nerves to a point where it's hard for me to contain myself, but I'm going to try because I've exploded enough. It's not about Porzingis and his talent. He's 7'1". They say he was 7'1", maybe 7'1", 7'3", whatever the case would be. Only 220. That's enlisted at 220 or whatever. He's got some skills. He's in Europe. He looks athletic and mobile. Didn't look bad in summer league. Didn't look that great to me. But here's the point. It totally deviates from what Phil Jackson sold us on. Phil Jackson said, it's not a project. It's not about building for the long term. I'm sorry, and I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. I could do the job that Phil Jackson did last year. You tanked the season. You're so god-awful that you end up with a top 4 pick, and you pick presumably the best talent available at the number 4 slot. But you traded Tyson Chandler, who was approaching the last year of his contract, okay? You didn't have to let him go, all right? Ultimately, you traded J.R. Smith and Amon Shumpert before the trading deadline. And you kept them within the daggone conference, by the way, for 2 draft picks and 2 trade exceptions, all right? Not only did you do that, you tried to sell us on Jose Calderon, okay? We still haven't bought it. There's still an APB out for his game. All we say about, this is what we say about Jose Calderon. He's such a nice guy. I mean, what? That's the best you've got? And then on top of it all, you turn around and you sign Carmelo to $124 million. It's a rebuilding process. Now, had you told us that, do you know what we would have said to Phil? Go ahead and let Carmelo go. Or sign and trade him. Don't bother, because we don't need to watch Carmelo Anthony, one of the top 5 offensive players of this generation. We don't need to watch Carmelo Anthony lose night in and night out. Let him go somewhere else, get something quality for him in return, and build. And it would have been a reclamation project that we all would have accepted, because you know what? All right, you sold us on that. You told us. The problem is, Phil didn't tell us that. He said it's the Eastern Conference. We should be able to compete for playoffs. I just need to make these moves. And clearly, he lied. He hoodwinked us all. The man went on 3 road trips last year, ladies and gentlemen. 2 of them were to L.A. Clippers, Lakers. I'm sorry, doesn't he live out here? I do believe he lives out here. That doesn't count as a road trip. That counts as you going home. Other than that, you went to London. The man listen, when you got executives, watch these executives in this league. They're all over the place. They're at Summer League, they're at the games, they travel on the road. Not Phil Jackson. And if you're going to develop, I like Derek Fisher. You know how I feel about Derek Fisher. But if you're going to develop talent, don't you need to have somebody who's experienced as a coach in developing talent, as opposed to somebody who's never coached on any level in his life? Everything Phil Jackson has done, he has lied to us, and that's the issue.
He didn't intentionally hoodwink you. He thought, I am Phil Jackson. I will set up shop in New York City. I will open my arms, and they will come. All the big free agents will come to New York because they'll want to serve me.
So he didn't lie to us.
No.
He lied to himself.
He deluded
because he's so
himself.
arrogant, so he deluded himself.
Yeah.
Either way, you lied, damn it. Let's get technical, Miss Samantha.
Right.
You lied to yourself, you lied to us. It's all the same to me, because you didn't tell the truth. And in the end, here's what it comes down to. And I'm getting sick and tired of people who cover sports not picking up on this, especially when it comes to the NBA. When you are an executive and you don't recruit in free agency, you are not doing your job.
True.
Yeah, you can go and draft. We got scouts and player personnel directors for that. The executive is supposed to be the dude that sits there and says, this is what I'm building. Come here. And Phil Jackson clearly is. Robin Lopez.
He's not bad.
I like Aaron Aflalo. Listen,
Robin
Lopez is a role player. Aaron Aflalo can play. But listen, Aaron Aflalo, Robin Lopez, and Jerry and Grant.
Williams.
Listen, Jerry and Grant. Stop it. Jerry and Grant. Listen, Jerry and Grant. Jerry and Grant out of Notre Dame, is a really quality point guard. You don't need a point guard in the triangle.
No.
Just everywhere you turn, it's just awful. Just awful.
There's a bigger problem now that's happening, too, is because clearly free agents want to go to winning teams, as Monroe proved. So if it's another 18-win season...
Thank you, Molly, because we lost out on Greg Monroe to Milwaukee, who, by the way, Jason Kidd is doing a hell of a job.
Oh, he really is.
He is doing a special job. He really, really is. And they had him. Remember, he left the Knicks to go and be the coach of Brooklyn. He was right in your backyard. Everything that's associated with the Knicks, they lose.
Okay,
Everything.
I am sick of talking about the New York Knicks because they bore me now. So let's talk about a team that does not bore me. Your Giants. Because I think they will be a threat to my Dallas Cowboys in the NFC East this year, though they might be missing their best pass rusher because of fireworks. Your thoughts?
Well, when I first heard that, I was hoping that it was just something that was maybe going to be over-reported and was a minor thing and there wasn't much going on in the news cycle. And then you start hearing, like, we don't think it's career-threatening, so my radar went up immediately. And then there literally comes into play, like, his career. It's not even so much like as a Giant fan, yes, I want him on the field, but then also on the human level, like, you don't want to see, and I say kid with all due respect because he's younger than me, lose a career because of an accident like that. I do wish that, you know, some of these guys would just realize you just can't do the things that you used to enjoy doing as a kid. It's just a level of you got to put it down and let someone else do it.
All right, can we stop with the niceties? He was stupid. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. You got $14.8 million on the table to sign for.
Let's light him off.
And
you're gonna play around with fireworks? Really? You don't know better than that? I have no patience. Look, I am allergic to idiocy. There's a lot of things that we can tolerate. Idiocy shouldn't be one of them. There's certain dudes that deserve to miss a season just because they do something stupid. Just because they do something stupid.
Right, but not a career. And that's why I started to feel nervous, because when they start saying career
it won't end his career.
No, but I'm saying that was the
he might not be able to grab as well, but it's just fractured and
it's not going to end his career. He's going to play, but he
ain't throwing the football. He'll be all right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I have never understood how in this great country of ours we celebrate our independence every 4th of July by lighting small bombs in our hands. I don't really get it, but he did it. That should be in the contract. I always tell you, you shouldn't be in clubs after midnight. That should be in the contract. Skydiving, bungee jumping, motorcycle riding, firecracker popping on the 4th of July. It is idiocy of the highest order. And he comes off to me every time I see him interviewed or I watch him on the sidelines. He's like an overgrown kid, and I don't think he's grown up. Maybe he'll grow up now.
Well, listen, here's the embarrassing part. The New York Giants fly from New York to go see you. And they can't get in to see you because your family or whomever it was shielding the Giants from getting in to see you. And you thought hiding for them would elevate your stock? I mean, really? I mean, really? You don't think that they would have something inside of them that says, maybe this is worse than what it appears? Because we want to see you and we can't even see you? Really? You know, you're taking millions from them. And by the way, JPP hasn't been the same in years. He hasn't been what he used to be.
After that back injury, it was never the same.
Oh, right.
He did have a decent amount of
No, he's big time. He's a big time talent when healthy.
They need him.
And they need him.
And bottom line, I do think they're going to be really good next year.
I think the Vereen pickup is going to be great for them because when Eli had like Ahmad Bradshaw to throw to, it changes his whole game. It does limit the interceptions a little bit, and I think Vereen is the best in the business at that.
That offensive line is still suspect, y'all.
It is, and I think having a good pass-catching running back will help alleviate some of that pressure as well. And if Victor Cruz is healthy, their offense is going to be legit. I think also the defense does have some problems, and if you lose JPP, it's not the same.
Making me feel better about my Cowboys now.
I see. That's where I like to set you up that way.
By default.
I like to set you up that way.
You should feel very good about your Cowboys. Jerry, thanks so much for stopping by.
Again, always a pleasure. I love when you guys are out here. Welcome back. And one last thing. We had a long talk a few years ago. Bubba Watson, will he win another major or not after his first Masters? I said yes. You said no. I had the research team check. He's got one since. I'm not often right.
Is he going to win another one?
Yeah, why not?
Next weekend?
Yes, why not?
I think Jordan Spieth actually has a shot to win 3 in a row.
Well,
that's really stepping out. When
well,
you
it
just
is.
Under 20.
Well, it is when he just won the John Deere Classic, and now he's got to fly to St. Andrews.
I'm just saying, you acting like that's a big deal. You're really stepping out on a limb there the way he looked.
Guys, speaking of 3 championships, Dwayne Wade has that, and he decided to keep his talents in South Beach, but have the Heat done enough to compete with the Cavs in the East, that weak Eastern Conference? That debate is coming up next.